Well, I'm just here to tell you that you all guys are heroes. And I'm not just here to tell you that you are heroes just because. It's just because you have to remember this for the rest of your candidature. You have lots of influence. We are responsible for 50% of the research done in the world. It's not even our supervisors, it's ourselves, it's these students. Because the other 50% is divided between your supervisors, postdocs, industry, small organizations. So you always remember that we contribute with 50% of the research around the world. Some of the researchers, the reason why I said that you guys are heroes and we are heroes is because some of us are born, some of us are made. Some heroes doubt, and you will be surprised that so many of your supervisors even doubt that they are capable to do such things. So if you doubt, it's okay, your supervisors probably they would do as well. Heroes are as diverse as the universe. Look around, and really look around now. Like, check on your side, and check how much diversity is in this room, just in this little room. But also, you guys are unique as fingerprints, because you guys have a special project that tackles something different than the other one. Some of you here are because you're following your career, you really want to become a researcher. Some of you are having a job back home, but you have to do your master's, or you have to do your PhD to return. Some of you absolutely love research. Some of you want to do really good for your communities and come from organizations, like individual organizations. And some of you have no clue. And probably you're doing it because you didn't know what to do after honors, and then your supervisor told you, oh, you know what, you should be doing a PhD, so you pursue it, or doing a master's, and it is okay. There's many people that do not have a clue why they are here. And if you're here to respond to that question, that's good. I still remember Nick, 4 years ago, when I did this program, he said, Macquarie University is investing in you guys for you to respond a question. So if your question is also finding if research is for you, do it properly, because Macquarie University is researching for you, is investing for you. So you think that you're ready? You think that you're up for the challenge? You think that you're ready for the battle? Well, let me tell you, there is a big battle to come. But hell no, guys. You better be prepared, because the battle that you're facing in the next 2 years or 4 years, if there's any HDRs candidate here, you might need tools. So I'm going to share some of the superpowers that you might have for the battle, or at least the superpowers that I got and I discovered over my 3 years and something going on for my candidature. So the first billion that you're going to face, or the billion that I faced, it was a massive distance between my sense of achievement, because it's 4 years. For me, it's a 4-year candidature. So it was so many years to get there, and you get disillusioned. So Saki was not lying when he told you in the morning that you're going to find struggles, and that you sometimes are going to feel like it is not okay, you're going to be doubting. He was not lying, to be honest. So what is the superpower that I did? Because I was so feeling that I didn't have this sense of achievement. So there was that day when I just looked at my window, and then I saw a giant X in Macquarie Theatre, and I said, that is TED. So then I checked the website, and I discovered that TEDx Macquarie University exists in this uni, and there's a TED event. And I contact them and say, look, what are you guys doing? And they were struggling to find someone that organized and restructured the organization. So I said, okay, well, I'll volunteer for you. So I volunteered for this organization, and at the end of my presentation, I'll tell you what I got out of it. I also volunteered for a Ghanaian student, and if it was not because of this Ghanaian student, I probably wouldn't be here talking and 3 months close to submission, because he saved me from statistics. I had a really bad time with statistics. Numbers has never been my thing. So because I was mentoring this Ghanaian guy to adjust to this country in the transition of becoming an academic, that for the first time in his life he left his country, I ended up learning statistics, and it was because of him. So he is my African angel. how can you discover that this billion is there? You might feel like you lose interest in your research, you are doubting of everything, you feel helpless because you cannot figure out solutions. Like I felt like I was just not going to make it with statistics, and I felt really, really helpless. So those are the signs. You might say, oh, I'm so busy, I cannot volunteer for anyone because I have so much work to do. Well, I dare you to start counting the hours that you spend in Facebook, in WhatsApp, and all those things, and then you tell me that you don't have time to give back to the community. Second billion, situational depression. I had to travel all the way from Mexico to Australia to discover what depression is. And it was not only depression, it was also anxiety and stress. It was a really nice cocktail. So what happened? What are the causes? Be really cautious about it. Sleep is the first thing. University of Berkeley has already discovered that HDRs struggle with sleep, and that is the first predictor of situational depression. What is situational depression? It's something like crap that happens sometimes. It's not that you've been declared depressed all the time, but it's just crap that happens, and it puts you in depression. So the crap that happened to me, well, it was so many things happening around, so I got it. The other thing was that I was stressed for my career prospectus. I didn't know what I was going to do after my PhD, and I had just 1 week or 2 weeks just started from my candidature. So it is valid to be aware or worried about your career. The other thing is chronic failure, and this is something that you should be very aware. And this is why I said at the beginning, there's many researchers out there that they doubt. And sometimes the frustration of doubting that they are possible, that they're capable to do it, sometimes they're very harsh in the way that they give you the feedback. But you have to understand that it's because it's doubting. And if you have that all over and over and over and over and over, it's just a moment when you just say, like, seriously, give me a break. And you're going to get it. And chronic failure, it is related to situational depression. So the problem is not having crap in your life, because in life, there's always crap. And you're going to fix this crap, and then you're going to come with more crap, but because you have tools, then the crap is going to be harder, and then you're going to learn more. So the problem is not asking for help. During the beginning of this presentation, the beginning of this course, Saki, Ren, Nick, and probably the rest have told you that there are resources there, and they really are. I come from the press, from at the press stage, and it was because the HDR staff, the psychologists in campus well-being, meditation, lots of exercise, and commuting from my house in bike twice a week is what I got out of the depression 2 years ago. So you might say, depression doesn't touch me. I can manage. You guys, 40% of researchers in this university are international students. International students have more risk in being exposed to depression. So here I am. I'm international. Yes, I tick the box. But for those that are locals, nobody here is exempt to have things that happen in your life. Accident, a family member dying, and those things contribute. So do not underestimate that you can be in risk of depression. Ask for help. The third billion that I encountered, I really like myself. I enjoy being with myself, but it was just too much of myself and my research. It was just too much. And I was having breakfast PhD, lunch PhD, dinner PhD, I was sweating PhD, I was going to the bathroom PhD. It was PhD all the time. And at the moment, I'm 3 months from submission, and it's still PhD all the day. But how did I manage with this, and how did I try to find the balance? Well, I tried to engage in the workshops that Nick said that they organize. I organized I have engaged with sessions that are called Shut Up and Write. And of course, there's no description for this. It's seriously, you just sit down, you shut up and write. That's what you do. The good thing about this is that it keeps you accountable, and you keep socializing, and then you keep yourself connected to the world and not just in your own cave. That it's just your work and you and your computer. So you can go out there and socialize with them. I also engage in community events around the university. And how will you discover if you are having just far too much? When you start feeling that the person that is next to you cannot understand you what you're saying, it's because you're just talking about your research. Because usually your research, usually you are the only one that understands it. Usually. You're supposed to write it at the end that everybody understands it. But when you discover that you're like that you don't have any topics for conversation with the other one, or when your friends tell you, oh, you and your PhD again, or when you're calling your family back home and they say, what are you talking about? Or, I don't understand what you're saying. When you discover that that's the case, you are already having just too much of your research. Last week, there's this researcher that came from Canada, and he's the expert in what it is passion. And he was saying that passion has two kinds of, it's like a double model. So it's either the healthy passion and the shitty passion, to put it that way. So the really unbalanced passion is the passion that controls you, that stops you, that it doesn't let you be who you are because you really want to pursue that passion. And that can happen with your research. So try to balance it, because otherwise you will get really, really sick, and it goes to, again, depression, anxiety, and stress. So I have 3 billions. Well, I didn't have 3 billions. I have a bunch of billions out there, but I just chose the 3 ones that I wanted. But the reason that it is important for you to be here and to understand why other students sharing experiences with you guys, it's because, yeah, there's billions out there, but at the end, it's not that bad. For example, when I did TEDx, little did I know that, well, I started organizing it, I restructured the organization, I bothered Nick asking to put PhD students so then we can put PhD students in the platform. That was me, the one that was sending you emails. Nice to meet you, this is me. But little did I know that as soon as I became the director, and there was no chance for me to continue growing in the organization, and it was also my time to leave and let other students to lead the organization. As soon as I finished, the sustainability unit said, oh, we know what you did with TEDx. Would you be able to provide us some supervision or some help, and we will pay you for that? Voila, I had my first job paid in Australia. And it's because of them, because what I did, and I didn't know that I was going to get a job. And suddenly I registered my business account, and then suddenly I'm just delivering job for another student group. The other thing that I got is that I was also, well, I was not invited. I sneaked myself into the incubator space, the future incubator space. And in the incubator space, I started understanding that there's other possibilities to be doing after your PhD, and that is in startups, entrepreneurial, and still being connected to the university. So in that space, I come across Tosaki, and we were just chatting, and at the end, I ended up contributing with him and his team to organize I think that one of the most amazing events that I have been in this university, and it's called the Macquarie Minds Showcase. And it was just to connect community and to show what is the great thing about Macquarie. So, and that was just for mentoring. What I got really good from depression, well, it was a hard time. It was, I think, probably the darkest time of my life. But what I got out of it, I got a really thick skin. And when you're an international, sometimes you are so worried because something is gonna happen to your family back home. Or if you're a local, you are probably worrying that you have to provide for your family. But after the depression, I got this thick skin to see the reality in a different way and to see that I have tools to figure out stuff. So the depression also showed me that I could be strong and not feel bad because my neighbor wants to build a wall next to their country, and you know, all that thing, and because my president doesn't want to pay, and you know, all that mess that is happening out there in Mexico. But I'm being, like, it is stressful. It is stressful to feel that one of the biggest countries in the world is bullying your country, and I still have to keep calm, because anyway, I have 3 months to submission, so I really need to keep calm. So otherwise, I will be completely lost. So this is exactly what I got out of depression, so it's not that bad. The other thing that I got about the workshops is that I extended my network ridiculously big. I even have locals, and when I say locals, I say people that is like Australians, that they come to me and say, Fabi, can you connect me with blah, blah, blah? And I got to this country 3 years ago. And they come to me and they say, can you connect me to blah, blah, blah? Or I say, oh, you probably shouldn't connect to da, da, da. So my network was really, really extended. The other great thing about attending to workshops is that I've been learning so much that I'm pursuing my passion, which is connecting people and helping people to be aligned with their values and to follow their dreams. And you need a lot of networks to do that. The other thing that I got is that at the moment, yes, I'm submitting my PhD in 3 months. I'm working as crazy. I'm pulling my hair out. I still have some curls. But on the side, if I achieve 8 hours of work, I try to put 1 hour of work, whatever it is, thinking about it, dropping ideas for my next venture. Because I'm not sure if I'm going to have a position in academia. I'm not sure if I'm going to be employed by a university. But what I know is that it's my responsibility to figure it out what it is my way of making money or surviving or whatever it is that in the world out there is needed to pay rent and expenses. So I'm working in my other idea of what I'm going to do after. I have responded the question if I really wanted to be in academia or not. I am still responding the question if my sample is working or not, if the significant results are able to be publishable or not. But I'm still responding questions, and that is what Macquarie it's giving to you. And the last thing that I have gotten from the workshops is that I have gotten amazing support and amazing friends. Even people that used to work for the HDR office and now they're living in Canada, they are still supporting me online. So I'm still having friends. So my mission for you guys, Macquarie University is committed to have future-ready students. So the mission for you guys is the TACO mission. T, take action. Be responsible for your health. If crap is coming, go and knock at Nick's office, Sally's office, whoever that you see here in the catwalk, grab any of them. If they are not the ones to give you the solution, they will send you to the person that will give you the solution. Don't stop until you get solutions. Ask for help. Do not assume that academia is going to be isolating. Do not assume that you're going to freak out all the time, because yes, it is, but if you don't take your responsibility, if you don't ask for help, you probably get in trouble. The other thing is, keep away from the comfort zone. Nick in the morning, he said, we are here because we want to make new discoveries. Even if your supervisor is super stubborn to say, oh, it has always been like that, or, oh, no, this is so difficult to do. Or if you hear reviewers telling you that it is so out of the scope and you cannot do it, or like the question that you did in the morning, asking if you could come across with faculties, push for it. Do not stay in the comfort zone, because that is research. It's discovering new stuff. Do not stop. Do not let anyone stop you to do new stuff. And the last thing is organize. Organize social gatherings. Go keep yourself social. I invented so many Facebook groups. One was like Facebook group for nerds that wants to socialize. And then I got like 7 people coming to the group. Then I socialized with the TEDx's. Then I socialized even with people that is providing the workshops. I even have coffee and chats. So keep yourself social and organize those things. And Ren also told you that you needed to be collaborative. Look around you. Probably it's half internationals, half locals. The Australians or the locals, you guys are the door for this country. Make the people feel welcome, because you guys are responsible to open the door to the international. And internationals, you are responsible to open the doors of your countries to these Australians. You guys are here to open doors, not to close them. So organize yourself and keep connected and keep collaborating. So for me, that's it. So may the force be with you guys.